this is KK here. Today I'm going to talk about how pre-sales functions are organized. Organizing the pre-sales function is important because that's what is going to define the architecture of how the function is going to respond to the opportunities that are going to get generated by sales. There are a variety of models available, and while there is no one right model for organizations to pursue, organizations also look at this function in terms of size, complexity, maybe services, solutions offered, products offered, geographies. All of those factors come into play in the way pre-sales functions get organized. Having said that, let's not forget one aspect which does play a role in organization is the territorial battles between the various leaders of the organization, and how that typically tends to get carved out. So this is also a factor which does play a role in the way pre-sales functions are going to get organized. So I'll cover or rather I'll give you an idea about how generally the two prevalent models are available in the market, and as I said, there's no one right model, and it's all a question of what makes sense for a particular organization. So when one looks at the different models in which pre-sales functions get organized, you'll predominantly see the two models available as shown in this slide. The first one is a more unit-based sales support organization. Another is a very strategic sales support organization. So the unit-based sales support organization is organized by individual unit. A unit in this case could be a geography, a business unit, it could be a technology, it could be a service, particular service line or solution. And the strategic sales support organization is one which is a single pre-sales function which caters to all units, all geographies, and it's more of a very centralized function. Now, if you were to compare these two models, as you can see that the unit-wise sales support organization tends to be a very transactional sales support, doesn't take a very strategic view, and to that extent becomes a very siloed view as far as that particular unit is concerned. There's nothing wrong with it. So for example, a pre-sales function for the BFSI should focus only on BFSI and not worry too much about what's happening in, say, for example, the healthcare. Of course, the artifacts and the boilerplate also is defined at the unit level. So typically all artifacts that needs to support at for say a BFSI unit resides within that particular unit, but there will always be a set of artifacts which are at an organization level. For example, company financials, standard processes for recruitment, quality, etc., which may pose a challenge at this particular model. So the other advantage of this particular model is that since it's completely aligned within a particular business unit, there's easy movement of people from pre-sales and delivery and all of those, and generally there is a alignment throughout the unit. So that's clearly the advantage that you will see with a unit level pre-sales function. When it comes to strategic, obviously the function takes a very strategic view across products, across geographies, across services, etc., etc. And as far as artifacts is concerned, you will have a single repository of all the boilerplate content. So that's far more easy to get and update and archive and all of those. It requires certainly a specialized skills base in that sense that the resources within the pre-sales functions should be in a position to straddle across geographies, domains, maybe technologies, etc. So you may have a requirement for more generalists as opposed to specialists as part of strategic pre-sales function. And the resources are of course shared across various units. So the function constantly needs to take a very strategic view of their services offered and how well they are doing against that. So these are generally the two models prevalent in the market. The unit level pre-sales function generally works for much larger companies who by very nature are designed along a particular vertical, say BFSI, healthcare, manufacturing, etc. To a more strategic pre-sales function, which is more suited for smaller organizations where the size and scale and complexity may not require the kind of investment that a pre-sales function would necessarily attract. So these are the two models, and hope that gives you perspective. So I hope that has given you an idea of the various models prevalent in the market of organizing the pre-sales function. Clearly, the way the function has been organized determines the way you're going to engage with sales and the way you're going to pursue opportunities and provide the necessary response to the opportunities. From an individual perspective, do these two models make a huge difference? From an individual's perspective, yes, if you're a bid manager, then you're constantly looking at, is this an opportunity that should be part of our unit if you're part of the unit pre-sales organization, whereas in a strategic pre-sales function, the opportunity qualification starts playing much bigger role there, simply because all kinds of opportunities are likely to land up on your table. These are some very broad level differences, but at an individual level, I think if you focus more on how to help the organization win, both models will welcome that sort of an approach and an attitude, and I think you will do very well. I hope you found this video useful, and thank you very much for your time.